I'm like, what the hell's going on? All right, so I should be good now. I was just because it kept on saying like, do you want to stream in portrait? I've never done this before on my phone. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna be wiring up an access point. Let's see if my voice sounds good. Let's get that there. This is our view for the day. Yeah, we can see the patio and everything. Okay. What it do? I'm actually live this time. All right, so I got an access point there. I got to wire up so I can get Wi-Fi out to my lake. Hopefully to the other side too. That'd be pretty nice. Um, you guys saw the video last night. Why am I bending down like this? This is better. You guys should have seen the video from last night where I uh, put together the junction box or the communication box, or in some cases the subframe or sub distribution frame for my network here at the house. I think I got my access point just delivered. It's a Ubiquiti access point for outside. So I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna go and get that. I think you guys can hear me through the headphones, or I'm not sure if it's that. But I won't be talking much because I'll be digging and probably breathing heavily. All right, I'll be back. Ugh, my knee. So it says something got delivered, but I can't find it because of I don't know this being the country. Like they put these packages. I've had a package delivered to the middle of my yard before. It's like the weirdest shit. But let me go find this package. Maybe my mom picked it up. Okay, so I didn't get the wireless access point, but I did get my bench power supply. I think this is in frame here. So I'll be able to test servos for the autonomous lawnmower project. Um, I needed this just so I don't have to rely on the DC power coming from my setup. So this allows me a little bit more flexibility so that I can actually test things independent of the actual prototype. So this will be really good. I'm glad for this. And this is great because I got a workshop coming pretty soon, or the building for it. All right, let's move this over a little bit. I saw that in frame. It's a little bit better. All right, let's get to digging. Okay, so far we got a good trench. Here, let's get like a better mic setup. I don't know if you guys can hear me through this thing, so on my headset. So kind of doubt it, but sorry if I'm talking loud. First time. So got to dig this trench. I already drilled a hole through my sunroom wall. I drilled 2 holes, so I got to plug one of them up. But drilled a hole for this wire. Drilled it a little bit lower. I'm gonna find something where I can actually like put in the wall so I can cover up that other hole or blemish. It's not that big, really small hole. But I've dug a trench out here right along the same line as the concrete edge. So now I should be able to go for finish this off. I'm gonna go test sound. I'm gonna make sure that I'm hearing myself here, or you guys can hear me. All right, I guess my voice is carrying good enough, or this mic is really good, so you can hear me. All right, let's stop pussyfooting around, dig this freaking hole or trench. All right, so I mean, really easy to dig the trench. Soil is very soft here, and there's no roots or anything I have to go through. So, and it's like what, like 2 feet? Not literally, but you know. So it's not much in terms of digging. So let's just bury this wire. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a person. I hate doing cabling. It's not the thing that I want to do. I could do terminations, but even that gets tedious after maybe 10. You know, at that point, it's just like, man, fuck this shit. Pay somebody. But usually, when you're talking about cabling, for you to cable, the way it works is you get charged 225 to 250, like industry standard is 225, 250 per drop, with another $25 for additional cables to that drop. One drop is one cable to an outlet. Now, if you wanted multiple cables to that outlet, or say 4 cables, that would be 225 or 250, plus another 25 per cable, that extra cable you want to drop. It's usually like a lot easier, but if you do it after the fact and you want to drop, you know, of course, another cable, the same spot where a cable already exists or an outlet already exists, you know, you got to change out the faceplate, 2 keystone jacks instead of 1, so on and so forth. They're still going to charge you after the fact, they're still going to charge you if you don't do it at the same time. So it behooves you, and it's a lot cheaper, of course, to do it all at once for those that don't know it, you know. So that's where it's like, you know, planning comes into play, where you're like, okay, I got to plan out my my, not distribution, but I have to plan out where my cables are going and everything. I have to plan out where all my cables are going and everything. So that's pretty important. I don't know who that was. Like a nice person, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so that's where it's important to like plan all that stuff out and put it all together and things like that. All right, let me. I think I'm gonna get a staple gun. Yeah, I'm gonna get my staple or my stapler and put that cable up. Be right back. All right, now it would be better if I ran this when I had the access point. I can get more precise measurements. So I left myself enough room to where I can, you know, if I have to move it up or down, I have some slack. So I should be good. I think I'm gonna put it maybe like close to the top of the ceiling underneath the patio here, and that will help protect it from the elements because it's closer to some type of covering. May even put it on the inside of the, not like say out facing the lake, but facing that way. I think it should be omnidirectional, or mostly omnidirectional. So it should radiate out from the access point on all sides. But it's good to like look at the documentation and then see, like, you know, if your access point is directional or omnidirectional, or it has like a certain range or something like that. Because even if I put it out, I kind of want it to like even help, give me wireless towards the back of the property or the middle point of the property, and as well as over there on that side of the lake. So, but it's a bit of a stretch, but it is open air and there's nothing blocking except for the trees and squirrels, I guess. All right, we'll see. Let me get the step ladder. more than enough. All right, cool. I just noticed last night, like, I'm looking through all my stuff and, you know, prepping for this workshop getting delivered, and I was like, I have like 3 tool bags, 4 toolboxes, no, 3 toolboxes, a large one, medium-sized one, and then this smaller one here for my cabling equipment, and then like tools and stuff all over the place, parts and everything. So I'll be really happy to like get some organization done, like, you know, a whole bin of just all washers of any size, any type, whether it be a vinyl, plastic washer, or anything else, man. Like organization, because you know, sometimes I have to look on Amazon just to see what I've purchased. Like, and then great thing about Amazon is when you're buying something, it'll be like, oh, you bought this back in 2012, and then you look at it, and it's just like, okay, all right, I did buy that. You know, where the hell is it? And then you have to think if it's like, you know, a customer site or something like that. So, you know, if you're buying things like small or SFP modules for networking equipment, it's like it gets expensive. And then you find out, like, you're searching through something else, and you got like a 10 gig SFP module, and it's just like, I needed that. Crap. You know, so it'd be really good to organize it, and then it save me some money. I don't know exactly where I'm going to have this cable run, like where it's going to be, or where it's going to come out, but I do know I'll just have it right behind this gutter, so that can hide it a little bit. It's not like anybody's looking per se, but I'd like to hide it. Oh wow, good. All right, so this staples are working in here. That one wasn't that great. I think that's it for there. We don't want to do too much. I have more than enough slack to reach the top. I might even mount it like not vertical but horizontal, sideways, and then that way it'll really stay up underneath the I don't want to say awning, but the overhang. It'll stay underneath the overhang a lot better. So, yeah, I like Bob Vila on today's This Old House, or whatever the name of the show was. I might have to dig this trench a little bit deeper for this cable to actually really get down there. Gonna have to water it. Another thing you could do is, of course, you know, just put water over it, and then that helps the sand settle or the dirt settle. Anyway, let's get to it. Oh. Staple it. Gotta be careful too, because I don't want to have to redig all this stuff. I'm gonna try and do more of these random streams here. I was gonna label this one randomness, but it's kind of not. It's more of an obfuscate computer stuff, so it makes sense. Nope. Kind of worked. Not that. So I want to put this as close to the concrete as possible. That'll offer some cable protection in terms of anything digging it up, as well as putting it next to a surface that won't move too much or anything like that, and then kind of a little bit more secure. So that's it. Just bury this sucker. I'm trying to do more streams like this, where I'm just trying to show like me working. I have plans for the workshop to where I'm going to start doing streams where you'll see see me while I work, and I won't talk as much, if at all, and it'll just be kind of like an ASMR type deal. Maybe we'll see. But I was thinking either that or put it on Twitch and do it, or multi-stream Twitch and YouTube. So we'll see how about that. See about that. So with me having that what's it called, sub distribution frame box, or the network communications relay box, now I can actually, I'll have a hard wire to the shed or the workshop and get even better signal and everything else like that. And then I can start doing other stuff like putting wireless that'll reach to the back of the yard and everything like that as well. So that'll be cool. I'm excited about that. All right, let's use this shovel. I got this shovel, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. It's like a $78 shovel, but it's made for digging, but I didn't have to use it. But I'm also a type of person that doesn't like to return stuff. But it's, it doesn't make sense to have like this freaking shovel right now. But it's gonna make sense when I have to dig a trench out to the workshop. So I'll probably just keep it. It's $78, so it's not that bad. I literally just spent like $118 on shovels. So worth it. I felt manly doing that. Nah, let's go here. But yeah, it doesn't. I don't need this one. So let me get the other shovel. So, not sure which shovel will be good. I probably could have used a regular garden hoe for this and gotten it done. But the pickaxe is a lot better, I think. And it's a little bit more straight to the point, and it easily penetrated the dirt. But the dirt's soft anyway, so it's not a big thing, big deal. Crazy. I just dug up the same dirt, and I don't think I have enough dirt. We'll see. I had to dig up dirt from somewhere else. Also, another thing is I have this like walkway here, so I could just throw the rocks on top of it, or the pavers on top of it. I like this shovel. It's probably like one of my favorite shovels. That's your regular one. Also, a regular shovel is really good if you have to remove tack strips. If you have to remove tack strips after like taking out carpeting or something like that, when you're removing carpeting, use a shovel, shove that sucker right under there, and it'll get underneath the tack strips, and you can just pop them up, and that's it. Trying to put this dirt on here, but I'm trying to do it in a way where I keep the ground underneath this paver here, or these pavers, level somewhat. after this, as I said earlier, I'll just go and wet it. If you guys are leaving comments, which I don't think anybody is, but if you guys are leaving comments, not reading them right now, I'll probably get this set up better to where I'll be using my Surface tablet or something like that, and then I can read that. Maybe even have this up on like a TV. I was like brainstorming about this. I'm gonna probably use some IP cameras for different angles and some OBS, and then I can have scenes. I can switch them and do all types of stuff. So I've been thinking about that. I'm gonna be talking to my friend Miguel about that. You guys know him as Izaz, ISAZ. Check out his YouTube channel, and he does streaming on Twitch as well. But he's like the pro at that, man. Like he's the guy that I go to for that type of stuff, and I recommend people to as well. Sorry for my low voice, but hopefully I'm projecting well enough. Bad boys, these are heavy. You just dig a proper trench even underneath the pavers for this cable. Now give it more cover. I really don't want to have to do this again, so I'm kind of trying to do it right the first time, quote unquote. And also try to be gentle as best as possible. So that way, like, the pavers don't just lay right on top of it. Not that that's a problem, but I want to protect the cable as best as possible without having to run something like conduit. I don't want to run conduit because that's too much time and too much money for this. Right. All right. leveled anymore. It'll get pushed down over time, I think, but yeah, so paper's not leveled anymore. Probably get pushed down over time, and then kind of reform a nice seal, or not a nice seal, but you know, kind of be leveled with the patio again in time. So not too worried about it. Famous last words. But just pack dirt into it, and then I'll water it later. But now with that, the cable's in. Put this down. All right. That was better. Shit. I am really glad I didn't break anything, though. Jot's not done yet. Okay. All right, so paper's not even, so we're gonna wet it. Excuse me. I don't know if anybody's watching the stream right now, but I'm burying a network cable, and kind of almost done with it. After this, I just got to do the terminations. And wait for this access point. I'll probably do another live stream or just a quick video later on, just to show that it's finished. But the water helps the cable go faster. Not really. The water just, helps the ground settle and everything like that, and rest in its femininity. Yeah, but all right, let's finish burying this sucker. All right, so cable's buried. Just gotta wait on the access point, which will probably be here any minute, really. And once I get that set up, I will finish all the terminations. I think I'll do the termination on the inside. That should be pretty straightforward, I think. I also got to reposition that switch a little bit as well that I have in there. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, so have to reposition that and clean up the cabling. It's kind of covered by a desk, or it is covered by a desk, so it's not a big deal. But I do want to redress some of the cabling in there. Maybe even change some of the colors. We'll see. But I'd have to order the cable for that. But yeah, so I'm gonna finish watering this and end the stream. So give me a sec. And as I said before, you know, we're watering this just so we can ensure full gigabit speeds out of this Cat 5e cable. Yes, I still use Cat 5e. I don't like Cat 6. It is a better cable, better standard. I think you can do a longer run with it or higher speed runs. Definitely. I'm not sure if you can do a longer run. I'm not sure. Because you still have signal attenuation after about 100 meters, which is 328 feet or so. So, like when you're like a networking guy or you have to deal with systems a lot, like you remember those numbers. Of course, like, you know, the color code, how to put everything together. But you always remember stuff like that. But yeah, so watering it so we can ensure higher speeds. That's my attempt at a dad joke. All right. Gotta clean up afterwards. Can't have a patio looking anything less than stellar. Big fella. I done washed off my shoes. And I have to step back in the mud. Hell no. Right, Pat. All right. Just step around this. Ugh. Damn! I can't believe I forgot that. I gotta put a bushing around the cable for the outside. But but it's kind of underground. So I thought about this. What I could probably do is that I was thinking about having to do this on the inside, but with the cable bushings, they just give you a nice port that comes out of the wall. I should have put it on when I pull the cable through, but it's like those things that I just don't do often, or like I put it on those bushings at least, but I just totally forgot. So what I'm gonna do is just cut it with some tin snips and then just wrap it around the cable, and that'll be fine. And then what I'll do is after that apply some silicone around it so that what's it called? Silicone around it so that it can seal and then be so no bugs can really get in. But it's a pretty tight hole anyway, so it's not like it's probably gonna happen anyway. So, but yeah, that sucks. I hate that. So I had it in my jacket the whole time because I was supposed to put it on. But this is what they call a pass-through bushing, and it's pretty thin. It just gives you a nice look in terms of when you pull a cable through a wall. It's not just a hole and then the cable pops out and says here, John, here, it's Johnny, or here's Johnny. But yeah. So I just got to cut this with some tin snips, and that should be it. Yeah. Either that or a razor blade, but tin snips would be safer. I'll be right back. So yeah, tin snips work perfect. It's pretty thin plastic. It just gets thick around the opening here. But yeah, this should be fine. Let's put this in place. We got a flathead screwdriver. I can work this thing in. This thing's pretty hard to get in, especially at the top or the opening. That might be my package. Sweet. At the top of the opening, so bear with me. Guess not. You past my house. Also, another thing is I don't want to cut myself and cause damage, because that's annoying. And don't want to damage the cable. Just as annoying. This is what happens when you forget to put things in place. I'm going to just cut it. If I cut out a small triangle off the back side of it, I might be able to easily put the cable in. I have an easier time putting in the cable. This damn tire harbors a crap ton of mosquitoes. Looks like it's dry though. It is kind of cold. It's been dropping into the 30s. Like last night it was 30 something. This morning it was like 40. I just had a big brain idea. I could just pull the cable all the way through, and then, yeah, let's do that. Then cut this bitch. Ha-ha! I don't know if you can see me, but I think you should. But yeah, so I got it through. So yeah. Now I just gotta tie the cable back and pull it through. All that damn time. What a waste. Aqua Techie, thanks for joining the stream. Don 007. My internet or broadband out here is I have two connections. I have a primary and secondary. My primary is Vibe broadband, VYBE. So I'm in southeast rural Georgia. So that's the coaxial connection, and you can get up to about a gig connectivity with them. But they have been having problems ever since I've lived here, where they're a little bit unstable. So thankfully, I thought way ahead when I first moved out here is to get a secondary connection, and I also have AT&T DSL. Excuse me. I can only get like the lowest one, which is like 25 meg service. Still can stream with it, will buffer, so on and so forth. Upload sucks, but it's a secondary connection and it's there for just insurance purposes. So I pay about the Vibe broadband. I probably pay about $80 a month, and then with AT&T, I probably pay about I think $50 a month with that. So kind of a lot for such like shitty or not shitty, but low service. But with the times that with the probably about 3 or 4 times this year that Vibe broadband has actually gone out that I know of, like where I can notice, like I can actually see it and observe it myself. I've just switched over to my AT&T. I have dual routers. I only have one of the single points of failure is my switch, and then I have multiple access points throughout the house as well. And of course, I'm adding another one out here. But yeah, when you're working from home, it's just one of those things that you want to do and pay for. Just call it insurance. I mean, you know, you're not paying that in gas anymore, or maybe even lower insurance premiums. You can cut your insurance premium down since you're working from home, things like that. So, or just get rid of your car and just use Uber. But I don't have an Uber option, and I don't want that. I like to jump in my car at any point in time and then just go from there. So pay the cost for that. All right, cool. Let's bond these cables together and finish this sucker up. It's not dirty up the tape. But yeah, guys, thanks for joining the stream. I apologize for not really talking. Well, not really paying attention to those. So I don't know if Don is still in the chat or anything like that. I just looked at it on my computer over there. All right, let me finish this up. What my dumbass do with the tape? In such a rush to answer questions. So for me to pull stuff through, I used to use wire hangers back in the day. A better option, if the wall is not too thick. Wire hangers are good, but then they're just not straight. Is just use a drill bit, one of these long drill bits. You can get them from any hardware store, and it's the same drill bit you would use to drill the hole. But usually they come in a pack where it's like 3 or 4 different drill bits of different sizes. So you just drill it with the one that you need for the wire, and then use a smaller one to go through it, and that way it's easier to hit the hole on the other side. Also, one of the things you can do when you're drilling the hole is if there's a wall nearby or something like that, just to keep it leveled, or if you're drilling it on the ground, just place the drill on the ground, push that sucker through, and that's it. It just depends on like how you're drilling it and where you want the hole. Sometimes I try to do that where it's like I keep the drill at a certain distance from the ground and then use the ground to guide me into that hole so I can actually make a straight hole on the other side. it's a newer thing for me. I mean, I wish I knew it years ago and like used it years ago, but it's one of those things that I do it now just so I can maintain what's it called, the straightness of a hole here. The problem is you always hit you always drill at an angle, or you're standing up, so you're like drilling down or whatever. It looks straight enough, but unless you're like right there on it and pushing it through, it's usually not dead center. Did I forget the tape again? Also, I would have terminated this thing and not put this thing in the right way. Great. Wait. Maybe it is the right way. No, it's the right way. And I don't know where I put my tape again. What in the world am I doing? And you put stuff down so quickly, you forgot where the hell you put it, and then I just started talking. Oh. It is. Oh man. Oh, and then you could use these drawstrings or nylon strings or kite strings. Um, and what I do is I put it in different spots on it. This helps guide it through. Usually the hole that you're making, of course, you want the drill bit to be smaller so it doesn't have a hard time going through the hole. I was using duct tape before, but it's a problem. It's just too thick. But what you want to do is trying to make it as straight as possible and close to this as possible. So I tape it here and here, not too much tape. Also, depending on the run or the length of the run or the material you're running through, you might want to tape it a couple times, but not too much because it'll make it too thick. And then I do the same thing on this side, leaving a nice gap of the string itself, and then that helps guide things through, so you can kind of just like wiggle it and stuff like that. So. All right, so essentially you'll have it like this. The cable's usually kind of like, you see how this is curved a little bit. I try to straighten it out as best as possible. Also, you can extend the tape from here and use this as an anchor point or a base, and then tape it out a little bit more on the string, and then that strengthens it a little bit better. Also, it makes this a little bit smoother here because this will get caught on a wall. So let me just do that. And then I just come down diagonally, and then that way it can wrap around the string. That's it. So it'll still probably get caught on the wall, but you're just gonna just finesse it in. Just gotta be careful. That's really it. All right, let's put this sucker through. Oh, let me pull the other wire out. Get our bushing up to the wall. Damn it. It looks like this damn bush, it won't even fit. Fudge. Alright. Let's start pulling it. So the hole that I drilled is not big enough even for the bushing. So it's a pair of bushing. So I'll just cut off the actual the neck of it and just keep the head of it, and then I'll silicone that on. So not a total failure, but it's one of those things where it's just like, oh, that worked for nothing. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let's get that done. All right, well, that doesn't look too bad. Just got to staple it up and do the same on the inside. All right, so that's all done. Now I just got to terminate this here in a little bit once the access point comes, and then terminate the inside and clean up because I tracked dirt all over the place. So that sucks. All right, well, hey, that's it for the stream. Appreciate you, as always. You know, love you guys all, really do. You know, the people that contribute in terms of cash apps and, you know, just comments, asking questions. I'm here to answer as best of my ability and as best as possible. But I really do appreciate the level of engagement. You know, that's the YouTube word for it, but just joining in. And we do have to understand, like, you know, content like mine is really not that appealing to the masses or a lot of people. So I know that. And for me to even have, I think, 670 subscribers, I really do appreciate that. That's like a lot for what I do, which is usually boring stuff or considered boring stuff. But this is the boring stuff that makes, you know, makes money for, like, you know, I'm an engineer in terms of like computer stuff. You know, I put computer stuff together. I can't say that I'm a low-level engineer building circuit boards, but I build solutions or engineer solutions. And this type of stuff is usually boring to most people. Um, and I do appreciate you guys, you know, hey, showing me any type of attention. That's cool. Really do appreciate that. And more with some of the solar panel stuff as well. But with that being said, I am going to clean up here and then end the stream. Peace. All right. Wow, I got 5 likes. Look at that. How do I get out of this? Are you sure you want to stop streaming?